I'm Gable Collings, and this is a really quick run-through of the major astrological events of Q4, these last 3 months of 2024, and how you as a business owner can plan around these events to increase your success. So, the events we're going to be going over today are retrograde season, Mercury retrograde, Mars retrograde, and the Jupiter-Saturn square. So let's get into it. Right now we are in retrograde season already. Retrograde season started around the end of August, and it will last until December 15th. For part of the year, we are in direct season, where all or most of the planets are moving direct, and then we move into retrograde season, which is where most of the planets are moving in retrograde motion. Retrograde season is your annual opportunity to slow down a little bit more. Make more time for self-care and for reflection and introspection. Put your healing journey first. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't be achieving things in your external reality and be achieving goals and moving towards them fairly easily during retrograde season. But for a lot of people, more delays come up, and those delays are more likely to come from within you. Especially if you've been doing a bit of healing work already, you might notice a little less motivation, feelings of burnout, stress, overwhelm, that make it harder to be traditionally productive. But however you experience retrograde season, this is just your annual opportunity to remember to take care of yourself first. So when you're planning your business for Q4, make sure that you're prioritizing more time for yourself than you're used to taking. Allow for a bit of a slower pace. And in terms of the offers that you're sharing with the world, the ones that emphasize mindset and healing work are more likely to resonate with the collective consciousness, since we're dealing with this slower moving, more internally focused energy. Mercury's last retrograde period of 2024 starts around November 27th and will last until December 15th. A lot of people fear Mercury retrograde, but all this means is it's Mercury's invitation to you to prioritize your mental well-being and your off-screen life. So much of modern life is spent on screens now. And while we can't really escape technology, while we can't really exist in this modern world without our phones and our computers, I mean, you're watching this on a computer or a phone or a tablet right now, and I'm filming this on a computer, we can't escape from it. But it's important to remind yourself that life really happens off screen. And if you run a business, especially if you work from home, you're looking at a screen so much of your day, and it feels like your life depends on the screens and the technology and the internet. So it's really important to take Mercury retrograde as an opportunity to step back from the screens a little more often and prioritize enjoying life away from the screens. So this might look like more time in nature, more time taking care of yourself, more time connecting with the people that you love. This might get a bit tricky this year because Mercury will be moving into its retrograde period just around Black Friday. So if you have a big Black Friday sale planned, you're going to want to emphasize getting things set up for Black Friday now. Spend October getting all the tech side of things set up and actually creating those Black Friday offers if you are participating in Black Friday this year. So hopefully that will run a little more smoothly for you once Mercury goes retrograde. And I would also recommend that instead of creating a new offer for Black Friday, you run a discount on an existing offer or product. Because creating new things, launching new things during Mercury retrograde isn't the best way to use that energy. Mercury retrograde is better suited to returning to something that already exists and seeing it in a new way, like at a different price. And I would also recommend that any computer-heavy projects, whether they're Black Friday related or not, that you work on those this October and early on in November and try to avoid working on them too much between November 26th and December 16th. And then we have Mars retrograde, which will start on December 8th and run into February of 2025. Mars retrograde often manifests as increased anger and irritability, but for some people it can also manifest as this general feeling of fatigue and overwhelm. However you experience this Mars retrograde period, it's really your opportunity to reconsider how you manage your energy. Are you spending most of your energy worrying about everything that's left on your to-do list and what you still have to get done of the day or the week? Are you spending most of your energy thinking about and focusing on things that upset you and that you don't prefer? Or are you focusing your energy on where you want to be and what feels good to you and what lights you up? That's what Mars retrograde is there to bring your attention to. During Mars retrograde, you're going to want to allow yourself a little bit more time so that you can take things a little bit more slowly in case you're feeling overly irritable and just can't bring yourself to be working because you're not in the right headspace, or because you're feeling way too tired and way too burnt out to do anything else. So just allow for a slower pace. Don't over-schedule yourself, don't overbook yourself, and definitely prioritize more self-care and time alone to take care of you. And now we're going to discuss the Jupiter-Saturn square, which will be coming back around Christmas. It will be peaking from December 24th to December 26th, but you might feel its effects up to 3 or 4 weeks before and after Christmas. For reference, Jupiter was also square Saturn back in July and August, and this rare transit represents a period of global instability and uncertainty. And I know that I personally experienced this Jupiter-Saturn square back in August as a feeling of instability in my own life, and also a really weird experience of feeling disconnected from reality. So try and think back to what was happening in your life around July and August. How were you feeling? How easy was it for you to accomplish things and show up in your day-to-day life as you're used to? For me, it was much more difficult, and it might have been for you too. So however you experience that, you're going to want to keep that in mind, because you're going to probably be having a similar experience this December and a bit into January. But the Jupiter-Saturn square really is about the economy and political structures and the world around us on a global scale, and instability and uncertainty showing up in finances and politics. And in terms of your business, this means that you're going to want to prioritize offers that emphasize stress relief. If you know of anything that you are offering in your business that can help people feel a little bit more of that inner peace and calm, that's what you're going to want to prioritize promoting, because that's going to really speak to the collective consciousness amidst all this instability and uncertainty. I would also recommend that you avoid promoting any of your offers that require a long-term commitment, so like a year-long membership or coaching program, because people are going to be less inclined to buy into a long-term commitment, especially one that involves finances, when they are already feeling unstable and uncertain, even if it's just in terms of the political climate. And this doesn't mean that you can't be selling long-term commitment offers or that people won't sign up for them, but it's just a little bit less likely. So focus on shorter-term things or once-off products. So now you have some understanding of what energies we're going to be working through as we close out 2024 and how this might affect you as a business owner. Hopefully you've been taking notes and you have some ideas of how to put these energies to good use and work around them, but also with them in order to increase your success. So just as a quick overview before you go, October has the most productive potential. This is the month that you're going to want to really focus on setting up your Black Friday and end of year offers and really focus in on your business, because there's going to be more energy of deep healing work and global instability as we close out the year. And just remember, from late November onwards, you're going to want to allow for a slower pace and much more disruptions than you're used to. Because of the retrogrades and the Jupiter-Saturn square, really anything could happen, and it is likely to get in the way of your business. So if you plan to have a little bit more time in your schedule now, you won't have to deal with the chaos of reorganizing your entire business plan at the last second. If this video was helpful for you, be sure to like it and maybe leave me a comment. What was your biggest takeaway of this video? And I am wishing you the most successful and prosperous Q4.